I never believed in places being evil. I used to laugh when people said, "This house feels wrong." To me, buildings were just wood, concrete, and wiring. Old pipes make noise, floors settle, walls expand. Your brain fills in the rest. That's what I believed. Until I moved into apartment 17. The building wasn't remarkable. 3 floors, narrow stairwell, yellow hallway lights that hummed constantly. The kind of place you move into when the rent is cheap and you don't ask questions. The landlord barely spoke. When I asked why the previous tenant left, he paused. Just a second. "Personal reasons," he said. He didn't blink when he said it. I should have left right then. The first week was quiet, almost too quiet. No loud neighbors, no music through the walls, no arguments. Just a constant low hum in the building, like electricity running through something larger than wiring. On the 8th night, I heard it. A drag, slow, heavy, below me. Drag, pause. Drag, pause. It sounded thick, wet, like something being pulled across concrete. I froze in bed, staring at the ceiling. There was no apartment below mine, only the basement, and according to the landlord, it was locked. The sound returned the next night, earlier this time, 11:02 p.m. exactly. Drag, pause, drag. But now there was something else. A faint vibration in the floorboards, not random, rhythmic, like effort, like something moving with purpose. I got out of bed and pressed my ear to the floor. The dragging stopped immediately. Silence filled the room. Then, 3 knocks from directly beneath my face. Slow, deliberate. I fell backward, my heart slamming against my ribs. It wasn't pipes. It wasn't settling wood. Something had responded. I didn't sleep. At 3:17 a.m., my bedroom door creaked open. I know I had closed it. I remember turning the handle until it clicked. Now it stood slightly ajar, a thin strip of darkness stretching across my room. I stared at it. And that's when I saw movement. Low to the ground, crossing the hallway, dragging itself past my door. There were no footsteps, no shadow, just the sound. Drag, pause, drag, and something brushing against the walls as it moved. The next morning, I checked the hallway. All the apartment doors were closed, except one, apartment 19, at the far end. It was slightly open, just a crack. I knocked. No answer. I pushed it gently. Empty. Completely empty. No furniture, no dust. But the floor. There was a deep groove carved from the doorway to the center of the living room, as if something heavy had dragged itself inside and never left. That night, the dragging started earlier, 10:46 p.m. It was getting closer. I could hear it inside the walls now, moving upward, floor by floor. I could track it. First floor, second, then directly beneath me. My ceiling creaked. Dust fell onto my pillow. The drywall above my bed bulged slightly downward, slowly, pressing, testing. I grabbed my phone, no signal, Wi-Fi gone. The lights flickered twice, then darkness swallowed the room. And in that darkness, breathing, heavy, wet, excited breathing, above me. A handprint pressed into the ceiling, long fingers, too long. They bent at strange angles. Another handprint formed beside it, then another. The drywall began to split, a thin crack, and through it, an eye. Cloudy, colorless, unblinking. It rolled inside its socket and focused on me. I couldn't move. I couldn't scream. More cracks spread. More eyes pushed through. Watching. Studying. learning. I ran, out the bedroom, through the hallway. The building was silent. Every apartment door was open now, all of them, at the same angle, and inside each one, darkness. Not normal darkness, thick darkness, the kind that absorbs the hallway light instead of reflecting it. The basement door at the end of the corridor was open, wide open. Cold air flowed upward. The dragging had stopped. Now there was only silence, waiting silence. I don't know why I went down. Maybe I needed proof. Maybe I needed it to be real. The basement steps groaned under my weight. The air smelled metallic, and underneath that, something sour, like old breath. The basement was far larger than the building should allow. The concrete walls were covered in scratches, thousands, layered over each other, some deep, some desperate. In the center of the floor was a long carved groove, a path, worn smooth by years of movement. It led to a wooden door nailed into the far wall. It wasn't part of the building. It looked older than everything else. It was breathing, expanding, contracting, as if something massive behind it was inhaling, exhaling, waiting. 3 knocks came from behind it, the same rhythm, the same deliberate pattern. The wood splintered slightly, dust fell. A voice echoed through the room, layered, like multiple throats speaking at once. "You left." The nails bent outward. The concrete around the frame cracked. I stumbled backward and fell into the groove on the floor. And the door exploded inward. It wasn't human. It tried to be, but it was unfinished. Limbs too long, joints bending in wrong directions, skin stretched thin over something shifting beneath. Its body dragged behind it like it wasn't fully attached. And across its surface, eyes. Dozens, opening, blinking, all focusing on me. Its movements were slow, patient, certain. It slid into the groove in the floor like it belonged there, like it had memorized this path. "You live above us," it whispered. Above us. Plural. The walls trembled. Knocking echoed from every direction, inside the concrete, inside my skull. Above us. I tried to run for the stairs. They were gone, just a blank wall, no exit. The creature dragged closer, each pull leaving a wet streak behind. Its eyes blinked in waves. "You leave," it said again. "And we rise." The floor beneath me shifted. I realized something horrifying. The groove wasn't carved into the concrete. It was carved into something else, something softer, something alive. The basement floor pulsed faintly, like muscle. The walls began to stretch upward, higher, higher. The ceiling lifted into darkness. I saw floors above me, not 3, not 4, hundreds, stacked endlessly, apartment above apartment, each one with someone inside, living normally, sleeping peacefully, unaware. And between every floor, grooves, paths, leading upward. The creature reached me. Its eyes reflected my face in each cloudy surface. "You were next," it whispered. I closed my eyes, and everything went silent. Morning light. My bedroom. Normal. No cracks, no dust, no damage. I sat up slowly, breathing hard, convincing myself it had been a nightmare. Then I stepped out of bed and felt it. A groove carved into my wooden floor, leading from beneath my bed to my door. 3 slow knocks came from the other side. I moved out that afternoon. The landlord didn't ask questions. He just smiled slightly. "You heard it," he said. I didn't answer. He leaned closer. It only drags when someone lives above it. I asked what happens when no one does. His smile widened. It moves up. As I walked away from the building, I looked back. For a second, the structure stretched impossibly high into the sky, floor after floor after floor. And in one of the top windows, something pressed against the glass from inside, watching, waiting, dragging, slowly, upward. If you ever hear something dragging beneath you at night, don't ignore it, because it isn't trying to escape. It's climbing. And one day, you won't be living above it anymore. It will be living above you. Here we've reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe and support the channel for more.